plaintiff, Teresa Smith, has been friends with the defendant since they were kids. And she claims when he was a teenager, the defendant started using meth. Teresa claims the defendant has struggled with meth since, and she's suing him for breach of contract and a loan. Defendant Matthew Peltier admits he became a meth addict at the age of 14, and he's been to rehab 8 times. Matthew claims he's now living in a sober house, and he denies owing Teresa for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. I'm sorry. You may now be seated. A hiccup there.
I'm not laughing at you, man. You my man. Yeah, stop laughing. Like y'all don't make no mistake. You talk about my man. Nah, don't start that. All right, start with you.
I've been knowing Matt for over 30 years. We've been friends. He's started in his teenage years, started to use drugs. Then that's just so we've been friends on and off through that. He's been through rehab and jail. He got
What type of drugs?
Methamphetamine. Meth.
Don't forget about your alcohol.
You gotta stop. What are you talking about me? So then he's been in and out of jail and then into rehab.
How many times in rehab?
Quite a lot. I can't
Over
even
3?
Yes.
How many?
8. I'm currently staying in a sober house, the Buffalo House right now, as well as attending intensive outpatient down at New Way. Trying to get it right this time.
Good. No, I applaud you for continuing to go. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to mention that. Now we know he's a guy committed to trying to straighten himself out. Many aren't. And many come in and lie, and someone has seen it directly, and their mom has seen them with the whatever in their hand or their mouth, and they're going to sit here and say, Mama, that wasn't me, or whatever. So then I got to call you all kind of crackheads to try and shame you in the rehab. You don't have to be shamed.
No.
You're a recovering addict because you continue.
Yes,
now, you come in here, if your mother come here and she say she saw you with some crystal meth and you deny them, call you dope fiend. All right, so keep Mom away from here if she's going to tell me that.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So then in 2017, Matt got out of the joint, contacted me. He was looking for a car to buy. I, at that time, had a car to sell, and throughout the years, I've helped Matt when he's been in treatments, not in jail, because I just didn't have contact with him when he was in jail. But when he was in treatment centers, we stayed in contact. I'd bring him cigarettes, you know, pop, food, whatever he needed. So I sold him a car.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Would the pack have to be closed or not?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't smoke them. I'd give them to him.
You give them to him loose or in the pack?
In the pack when he was in treatments, not in jail.
Closed pack?
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds strange that you can bring people cigarettes at a rehab place. People smoke cocaine out of cigarettes. Am I right or wrong?
You're correct.
All you got to do is dump some of that tobacco out, put a little cocaine in the middle, or crystal meth, put it in the middle, put the tobacco back in there, and you're bringing him dope.
Wow.
So you would bring him dope to rehab and what else?
Sometimes.
And that's why he's not clean. Go ahead. Keep her away from the rehab, man. Give me some background on yourself, and we'll get to the specifics of the car.
I'm just going to bring it up to your attention. It seems like a topic already being brought up. So I was an addict at the age 14. I had smoked methamphetamine early in my life with a parent. I've had my ups and downs throughout my lifetime. I'm 41 years old. I have 2 kids, which I was able to have a sober stint for 8 years. Unfortunately...
8 years?
Yes, yes.
Oh, what happened?
I had lost my visitations. Me and the mother and my kids had split up, partially due to somebody drinking at my house and wouldn't leave when she came home early from work one day and seeing somebody in my house.
Well, I got invited. It wasn't like I just randomly
Did she know you were recovering?
I was on my ups and downs. I was drinking with her at that time, yes.
All right.
Even though it was not methamphetamine, it's still one of my addictions.
Correct. You can't do anything mind-altering.
Right.
You can't do anything.
I am unable to do that. You're right.
Can't drink, A lot of folks think, well, I can drink wine. I used to be a drug guy. I went to rehab, and I can drink wine. Boom, they went back to rehab.
Right.
Can't drink wine. Can't do anything mind-altering when you're a recovering addict. That's the whole thing. Triggers the addiction. And you want to get higher than you used to get.
You go right back to where you left off, Your Honor.
Correct.
If not worse.
Correct. Go ahead. So I'm glad that you're continuing to try.
So, yeah, on that note, I've had some ups and downs with Teresa. We've had friendship for, like she said, over 30 years. I had gotten out of prison after doing a 2-year stint for addiction or possession of drugs. She had offered me, she said she had a vehicle sitting in her uncle's driveway. She wanted $4 grand for it.
How much? $4 grand?
4,000.
All right, since she's suing you over it, I'll let her tell me how it went down, and I'll let you defend. Go ahead.
Okay, so then Matt got out and he contacted me. He said he was working and doing good, gonna stay sober, and he needed a vehicle to get back and forth from work. So then I brought him to my uncle, showed him the car. You know, he was interested in the car. We made an arrangement that since he was working and getting paid weekly, he would pay me $100 a week for the vehicle. He took the vehicle.
I had to fix the brakes, Your Honor, before it even left the house because it was already had.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
So then he took the vehicle, and then he started using again, went to treatment. Of course, I was there for him at treatment. Got out of treatment, continued to use, scammed me out of $1,500.
How?
How?
I scammed
How did he
you.
scam you out of $1,500?
Well, he told me that the vehicle needed a transmission, what I don't believe.
Someone sold me a lemon.
Quiet, sir. I'll let you defend. Go ahead.
So he told me it needed a transmission, and I thought if I didn't give him the $1,500, then he wouldn't pay me for the vehicle. So I gave him $1,500. He went on the run from parole.
Hold on. Yeah, you were drunk that day for sure.
Just a little.
He wasn't paying you. So you gave him $1,500. The man that already wasn't paying you. You gave him $1,500 more. Let me give you this and give it back to me. Really, maybe I'm processing this wrong.
No.
Because what it sounds like is you gave the man some money, he said, now hand it right back.
Yes.
And I know you owe me some more.
Yes. So then he said he was fixing the transmission. And so he said he fixed it, and then he said the transmission he put in wasn't good. And he gave me $500 of the $1,500 back, but then he went on the run from parole, and then the car ended up in a lake.
How did that happen?
Because I think he fell asleep driving. He says he didn't, but I believe he fell asleep driving from being up too many days.
And how long after the purchase did he notify you?
It was 5 months, but he was
Okay.
in treatment for 2 of them months. So he only
5
drove.
months after purchasing it.
Yes.
Sir, you
Yes.
tell me about this.
Again,
The
when I
purchase and what happened and when you came back.
Yes, I purchased it on, I recall, as in August of 2000.
And how was it operating when you purchased it?
I had to replace brakes on it. She notified me of that before I even left her
Okay,
uncle's
so that's not a
driveway.
problem.
The car, therefore, after that, ran fine for roughly about 3 months, and then I had to go into inpatient for 30 days due to a violation. In order to stay out of prison, I went to inpatient. The car sat for 30 days. A month after I got out of inpatient, I was driving it to work. It left me stranded in Wisconsin at a paint booth where I work. I had
Did you
contacted
give
her.
him a warranty or something?
No, I haven't as contract.
That's it. Well, why don't you think you should have to pay?
I kind of personally feel like she stole me a lemon due to a couple different facts.
Sir, you drove the car for 3 months, and this is as is. The only way you could collect on something after 3 months is if there was a warranty. Had it been the next day, perhaps so, because that might indicate she sold you, she misrepresented the sale of the car. When you sell a car, even if it's as is, it has to at least be operable. So if you get a car, breaks down on the way home, or the next day, they sold you a car that was inoperable. Some way they had it to work for 1 day. Nonetheless, this is 3 months, sir. You said it worked fine for 3 months. It says as is. Why do you think you shouldn't have to pay?
Just the way she felt that she had to give me the $1,500, I was under the impression she was giving me the $1,500 to fix the transmission due to the fact that she felt bad that she sold me a car with malfunction. She had gotten in an accident in the vehicle within a year prior to me buying it, and she put money into it, and that was why she...
I'm going to go with the agreement. $4,000 was the agreement. How much have you paid toward the agreement?
Nothing.
$500 on the car.
Okay.
No,
That's
he
it?
paid me $500 on the $1,500
How much has he paid on this?
Nothing. Zero.
And you say you paid $500 on this.
That's what I was under the impression it was going. Yeah.
When did you pay it?
$100 a month. It says.
What month range, sir? You began paying when?
August to December.
And how many months is that? Don't make me do the math.
4.
It's not. 500 is 5 months. Lord have mercy. 3,500 is your judgment, ma'am. The balance that he owes, I believe he paid you 500. He's confused about which one it was for. But the fact that he paid you 500, I'm going to attribute to this $4,000 agreement. This is the only agreement I'm going to enforce. Anything you all discussed with the 1,500, you had to amend it and put it in this agreement to make it binding. So 4,000 minus the 500 he's paid leaves you with 3,500. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, he's not truthful. He never gave me $500 towards the car, and he owes me still on the transmission.
And I don't think she was really being honest with telling me what was all wrong with the car. So, I mean, it is what it is. Don't buy cars from friends.
Yeah, don't take them on payments.